Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for March 9, 2023, the 4-day work week edition. And we begin with that story from the Washington Post as Congressman Mark Takano has reintroduced legislation to make the 32-hour work week the national standard. It would also reduce or lower the threshold triggering overtime for compensation for most employees. Obviously, workers, the AFL-CIO, and a wide variety of other groups want to pass this, but in the Republican House, it may not even get a hearing. So it's going to be interesting to think about this issue, and I think compliance professionals are going to need to be on the lookout for this, because if there's a Democratic administration elected, this could be something that we see going forward. Next up, from the Financial Times, question is the following: is the UK really becoming a death valley for global tech? Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, says that if this initiative, or rather merger, fails in the UK, it could be very bad for European tech going forward. And indeed, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Rishi Sunak, said that, quote, if deals like this can't get through, there won't be Silicon Valley, there'll be Death Valley. So interesting that this and the Competition and Markets Authority have drawn the ire of Kotick, although perhaps not, given his prior statements. Next, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Mingy Sun reporting, Rio Tinto, the mining and minerals company, has agreed to pay a $15 million civil penalty after a multi-year probe into allegations Rio Tinto violated the FCPA. The payments were first disclosed in 2016, and it related to a 2011 transaction. So once again, it takes a long time for FCPA justice to come to roost. And our final story comes to us from the New York Times, as the Federal Trade Commission is intensifying its investigation of Twitter privacy practices. Part of this is around the number of firings and voluntary resignations of Twitter employees after the takeover by Elon Musk. Also, part of it is Musk's slashing of costs and really anything along those lines. And the FTC is looking closely into this, and will report the results. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.